I meant to say toast. I don't remember what I was going to say.
Toast? Lung butter and toast?
Yeah, I get
None.
it.
A winning combination.
You know, that followed the Butthole Surfers Pepper album, which I found
Yum,
was
yum,
just
yum.
appropriately seasoned.
Indeed it was.
And seasons come and go, much like life, much like the, environs that we live in, unless you're in Arizona like us. And, any color or spectrum, any aspect of our life. Near, far, wherever you are.
Yeah.
By the eternal, behold.
Guilt.
It's the Disinformed podcast. I'm Shane.
I'm John.
I'm Michael.
What happened?
I'm Courtney. It sounded like you said done.
Oh, no, I said I'm John, but I also am done.
He's Brooks and done. Okay.
Oh,
We're gonna work in the intro just so I can get this out of the way because I'm gonna be subjected to some torture here, and I want folks to know who I am before I die.
That's very
All
fair.
right.
Yeah, I wanted you guys to see this clip. I mainly wanted Shane to see it. And we're going to put the audio in the episode. So
I'm prepared to hurt in ways that are just uncomfy. So here we go. Here's a reaction clip, friends.
Somebody once told me the world is gonna roll me. I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed. She was looking kind of dumb with her finger and her thumb in the shape of an L on her forehead. Hey now, you're an all-star. Get your game on, go play. Hey now.
So I'm just gonna take a moment to reflect. So I fell in love with music at an early age. And I cherish it. I love it.
how much?
I cradle it to my body like one of my cats. Like I need it to breathe. This is how much I require. And yet you, someone who I have shared a cheese sandwich with more than twice, continue to try to disabuse me of my adoration for the art form. And yourself, it seems, because it's like, why? Why would you want to listen to a duck being dragged across a field of razor blades? It just...
I would argue that it's just on par with the new single from Haim.
I disagree altogether.
On a fundamental level.
Taste is subjective. Tone deaf's forever. And I've been in a band with Sam for long enough to know the truth of that. So
Hey, she resembles that statement.
Indeed. And that's so it's like I already live with this for most of my life. I don't need to be subjected to it constantly.
So you didn't like it?
Didn't like it.
Thumbs down.
I'm gonna say that I Amber Heard that. Pun intended.
Oof.
You would shit in its bed, huh?
I would shit in its bed twice. I'd wake it up and remind it I was still there.
Near, far, wherever you are.
Indeed. I'm here.
Wow.
There's so much to fear, and I know that your heart won't go on.
It's too much fucking shit on me.
Damn.
Indeed.
Damn.
Welcome to Cleveland.
But hey, the TikToks I've been sending you lately, I think you've liked more. I feel like I've been on an upswing.
Even a blind squirrel finds a nut, from time to time.
you know-
So I odds are in your favor.
I was younger and we were hiking the Grand Canyon, not like rim to rim, but we hiked down for a couple hours.
Oh, I've had a rim job, yeah.
Yeah, we were getting a rim job at the Grand Canyon, and so we sat to break, have some water and eat some nuts. And a squirrel legitimately in the middle of the Grand Canyon stole my bag of nuts and ran away with it, right out of my goddamn hands.
Did you say it was a nut job?
I nutted. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But with what
Nuts
nut?
for butts.
With what nut? You didn't have any.
Pignons, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Those are good nuts.
Yeah, I agree. Those fit right in a pocket.
And
So
other
this
things.
is what it feels like to listlessly start an episode with no purpose and 4 people on
Oh,
the verge of dying. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like this. Let's do this more
Courtney
often.
Courtney
This is
looks
so
great
good,
today.
guys.
Yeah,
Do it every week.
Courtney looks alive and great. Michael
Uh,
looks like Michael.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
It's the best you can do.
I
Okay.
try.
Well, I'm trying to Captain Charisma my way through this here, friends, but y'all just keep dogpiling me, and I don't know how to make it.
You're giving it all she's got, Captain.
I don't think I have any other traumatic surprises for you today.
Okay, good. Well, I need some lithium crystals instead of the dilithium. So if we can get a hold of Ebony, Darkness, Dementia, Raven Way,
Ooh.
Man.
or perhaps her cousin Amy Lee, someone give me some lithium, okay? I don't know how to live without. So,
That's a deep cut.
for those friends and listeners who are completely blissfully ignorant to what typically happens on this show, it's not humor, I assure you, because I've checked. But typically, we delve into random esoterica, and in the course of explaining it to one another, we will occasionally lie. That is our shtick. And then the whole point of the show is to try to ferret out the fact from the fiction. But today, we might be doing something a little different, because Michael is not going to present a topic.
What?
Yeah.
After I rushed to write it and everything.
I already told you that, you didn't need to go to the effort,
But I
because
wanted
I
to.
can't stand to hear you talk anymore.
Oh.
Oh my god, he admitted.
Oh. All right, Michael, what is it that you plan to just wow us with this evening? And I've watched the
So-
light leave your eyes. I start to have rekindled my romance with hatred.
You
I
do
will-
actually look like you're more alive now.
I will say the topic, and if you want, we can do it. If you don't, we can freeform it.
Big bucks, no whammies, and stop.
Creepypastas.
Oh, yeah, I'm down.
I saw Courtney serve one of those to Jonah one time. I believe it was infused with blue Powerade.
I thought you were going to say blue waffle, and I got scared. Never mind. Don't bother looking it up.
I'm gonna retract just slightly. I'm gonna crank the train back just a couple girders here, because in spite of the fact that you mutter and stumble your way through more topics than Johnny Depp does while dealing with a defamation hearing, you have given us a topic that people are actually interested in, because the horror episode that we had previously is consistently getting some attention and some traction here. So the analog folk out there are apparently interested in your perspective. So maybe I'm wrong.
You know what? It was a
Maybe
really
your
fun episode, too.
creepypastas will finally bring us to that, national prominence you've so desperately craved.
Attention.
Is it you just telling us creepypastas, or is it a history of creepypastas?
It's a little. We're just touching upon them, doing
Are
a very
you-
quick episode on like.
Are you gonna surprise stab any little kids in this episode?
No, but I do mention that.
Oh, good. Well, in the beginning, there was spaghetti. And then there was angel hair. And finally, hell was unleashed with penne.
Oh no!
Shane, you opened the box,
I did.
and I came.
You found those nuts again. So
And still a waste of good suffering.
The squirrels are back on my nuts.
keep chomping at the bit. So we have 3 lies. Okay.
Okay,
Mm.
okay, stop yelling. Fuck.
We've discussed aspects of this topic for more.
We have discussed ass specs before. Usually you need to see a doctor and get those treated quickly,
Oh
and
my
should cease and desist from any intercourse for at least 60 days.
My coffee is not kicking in yet.
Your weed coffee?
No, it's just coffee. Okay.
Could be shroom coffee.
No, I'm not cool enough to do kombucha.
Folgers, it's just coffee.
It's literally just coffee. What more do you want? You're going to drink this shit anyway.
If you're in pain, it's cacao.
Fuck you, you'll buy it.
Indeed.
We've discussed aspects of this topic for more.
Aspects. Okay. So now so is that so that the chest is so puffy that you have a front butt?
We're never gonna get through this.
That's part of the fun. I've decided I don't care to be on topic tonight.
That's totally fair. This is a very quick one because I wanted. It doesn't need to be long. It really
Good.
doesn't. So
Yeah, it just needs to be girthy.
Yeah,
just
girth.
girthy,
Mhm.
and it knows what it's doing.
Would you say that you're not going to reach the bottom, but you might stretch out the sides?
Trademark.
Probably, yeah. Copyright.
Now flex them aspects for me.
Okay, we've covered parts of this
I like
topic
it.
for more than
I'll allow it.
for more than a few of my episodes. Some good, some bad, but mostly bad. From earlier episodes like Polybius, which I think I got correctly this
The
time.
labia, yeah. Uh-huh.
The labia. Palabia. That's where it's more than one.
Indeed.
Black-eyed children.
I thought you said black guy children for a second, and I was very offended.
No, black-eyed,
Okay. I was like, Dewan's got a very strongly written letter here.
Sorry.
Legal has provided it to me in advance of him even thinking it.
It's pre-written for quick, easy sendouts. And Slenderman, to more recent ones like The Back Rooms and Mother Horse Eyes. And in the process of writing The Back Rooms, I realized something. My interpretation of these internet legends is vastly different than most, including you three, in part because I was active on that part of the internet when a lot of these original internet horror stories were popular. Short tales and pictures like The Lavender Town Syndrome, Ben Drowned, Smile.jpg, Abandoned by Disney, and then Who Was Phone, colored how I read and appreciated the more modern stories that I've come across more recently, like The Backrooms. With that in mind, I felt it might be time to do a quick dive into this little corner of the internet and help explain to you guys and the audience what a creepypasta is.
Okay.
Indeed.
Yeah.
So let's start with my favorite, the Velvet Colander.
So this title, because I only have two titles, two sections, but I like this one. Ravioli is the creepiest pasta because you don't know what's inside. It has nothing to do with the topic. I just felt that I had that idea while I was writing.
You look like you just broke Courtney's brain.
You don't know what's
Like,
inside.
he's not wrong.
Yeah.
But I've
I-
never had a bad ravioli, so
Oh.
I also am like, are you wrong?
I mean, is there any, like, is it actually possible to be truth or be right or wrong with that statement?
I'm not
there's
sure
no-
that ravioli actually even exists.
Oh,
Kind of like
That's-
Ohio or Australia. I don't think I've ever seen one in person.
I've never seen an Australia in person. That's fair.
Did you see how many lies
Boyardee.
you have today?
Huh?
3.
3
yes,
lies?
3. Mm-hmm. The idea of a creepypasta is much older than you think, mainly because the word itself hides the history of this type of tall tale. The word creepypasta is a portmanteau, I think I pronounced that word right, of the words
Shane?
creepy and
Did you
copypasta.
pronounce it right?
I mean, typically a portmanteau would be
Oh,
the,
it's-
usual pronunciation, but...
It's French, so it's probably actually pronounced poor.
so let's just start with, hey!
Yeah. Hey!
A portmanteau.
Portman. Ho, ho, ho.
I'll port your mantou.
Hey! It's a combination, I guess, of the words creepy and copypasta, with creepypasta being a subcategory of the word copypasta. Copypasta, surprisingly coming from a Tumblr thread in 2006. I presume you all know what Tumblr is.
Yes,
Yes.
it's
Okay,
a
cool.
setting on my dryer.
It used to have really good porn on it.
Before they banned it, now no one uses Tumblr.
Yeah, that was what you and your ex-girlfriend were filming for, as I recall.
Man, I'm still waiting for my royalty checks.
Aren't we all?
For those who don't know, Tumblr was and still technically is a microblogging and social media website. No one uses it anymore since they banned not safe for work stuff completely from it.
Microblogging sounds like a something many men would claim as a myth.
It originated from a Tumblr thread in 2006, and it comes from the computer concept of copy pasting.
No.
Exactly. It's almost like it's in the fucking word.
Is that
Um,
is that bullshit? Was it Tumblr?
yeah, that's bullshit. Yeah,
I thought it was like
it didn't come
MySpace
from.
I was gonna
something.
ask too.
Yeah, it didn't come from Tumblr. It came from 4chan, just
Oh,
like
4chan?
all my other. Yeah,
I
Of course
see.
it did.
yeah.
Well, I should clarify for the record, though, that John did come with Tumblr, so.
Multiple
Not
times.
anymore, but he probably did at some point or another.
I did. Yeah.
For those on the older side, you can liken copypastas to those chain emails that were popular towards the beginning of the millennium.
Or-
Wait, I have something for you.
What would Michael? What would that equate to if you were, let's say, like in the Wild West era? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the Pony Express. What would that be like?
That would be equivalent. Instead of writing, actual letters to people, you just copy pasted a bunch of the same letter and sent it out to a bunch of people on horse, and hope
So
that at
Shane,
least one
that's-
would reach.
That's what it was like.
We've had a printing press for almost a millennia now. I mean, Gutenberg, it was an individual quite some time ago. So, they could print in the Old West, Michael.
Okay, I'll
Yeah.
take
Agree
your
to
word for it.
disagree.
I don't think they had invented the printing press out there in the Old West. They didn't have time for that. They were too busy dying of dysentery.
Oh, okay.
eating
So
each
everything
other
you've
in
learned about
Sierras.
history, you gleaned from the Oregon Trail. I see. Okay.
Video games
Yeah.
can't lie.
It can't. I learned a lot about dysentery. It can happen anywhere at any time.
Do you have a serious walking fear of dysentery?
Yeah.
We already established last week that he'll nut at any given interval with very little stimulus. So, I mean, I imagine all of his general proclivities with his body are just, ready to fire at a hair trigger.
hmm Yeah. And especially with the constant nutting, I get thirsty. And so I have to make sure my water's treated or
Uh-huh.
else the dysentery. So,
Indeed, it's the shits.
Yep. It's the shits, not the shit. I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, chain emails. So that's
Chain
like
emails?
chain, like two
Yeah.
chains. Yes.
So if you have a
chain
bad
emails.
accent and you try to
Yes.
pronounce my name, yes, I gotcha.
Yeah. Wait, that's not two chains. Oh, Jesus Christ. That got away from me there. Ignore that bit. Let's move on. Chain emails are like an early form of copypasta where you would take the email and you would forward it to other people, for those who weren't aware, because I honestly don't
For
know
good
our
luck?
audience. Yes, for good luck. Or there is actually a creepypasta equivalent where you would occasionally get, these chain emails where it's like 4 to 25 people or Mickey Mouse will appear by your bed in the middle of the night and murder
So-
you in your sleep.
That's why I called
only.
bullshit on the Tumblr thing, because the first time I ever experienced anything like that was on MySpace, on like the bulletin board or whatever. I don't remember what it was. But like it was like MySpace's version of like posts or whatever. And finding or getting sent messages of like very elaborately written like Anna Louise, 13 years old, was abducted. And da 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 da. They like form some big horror story, and then it's like, and if you don't send it to 6 people tonight, she's gonna come bite your big toe off.
Oh no.
My equilibrium.
I can't walk anymore.
Anyway,
I do want to give the two most famous examples of a copypasta. In part because one I really do enjoy, and the other one is kind of more of a meme.
one
So-
of them is bullshit. We know this.
Okay.
Oh my god, I just
Um,
saw you fucking just full.
I had to
freeze.
process what you were saying. Okay, for context on the most well-known one, the Navy SEAL copypasta, it originated also on 4chan, but several years after copypastas came about in 2010. It was usually posted as an over-the-top response to an insult. For added hilarity, picture some neckbeard wearing the cringiest fedora, furiously typing this as a response to someone calling him a virgin or something.
Personal experience.
I wanted to give context because keep in mind this is 4chan we're talking about, so we got to assume the usual
There's
user of
a
4chan.
lot of me lady, my lord types.
Yes. This
It's,
was before incels became a thing, or else I would have added that as well.
What is that phrase John's so fond of using? I feel so seen right now.
Just because you have a beard on your neck, Shane, does not mean that you are a neck beard.
I own a lot of fedoras, which we've discussed.
And he
Yes,
has
but you
written-
make them work, and they're not cringy.
He has written his fair amount of angry emails as well.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to try my best to read this without cracking up, because I'm going to try and put a voice on it.
Do you want Shane to do it?
Oh.
Ooh, would you like to do it, Shane?
I don't know why I'm being volunteered for something, but
Now you're being voluntold.
I think you would be able to do it a little more justice than I would.
Just try it.
I'm delighted whenever you try a voice, Michael.
Okay,
Are
so
you,
I
are you
mean-
sure?
Yeah, you
okay.
should try it,
All
you
right,
should
all right,
try
all
it.
right. What the fuck did you just fucking say about me, you little bitch? I'll have you know I graduated top of my class in the Navy SEALs, and I've been involved in numerous secret raids on Al-Qaeda, and I have over 300 confirmed kills. I am trained in guerrilla, which is spelt like the great ape, warfare, and I'm the top sniper in the entire U.S. Armed Forces. You are nothing to me but just another target. I will wipe you the fuck out with a precision the likes of which has never been seen before on this earth. Mark my fucking words. You think you
your ass with my tongue
Well,
vigorously.
While I was writing this down, I did keep thinking every time they said the word wipe, he was going to offer to wipe the guy's ass. So I'm glad that you said that, because it
Okay.
validated my thought process.
Good. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you either.
were-
I thought you were done. I'd
you were-
hoped you were done.
Totally fine. Let's see. You think you can get away with saying that shit you said to me over the internet? Think again, fucker. As we speak, I am contacting my secret network of spies across the USA, and your IP is being traced right now, so you better prepare for the storm, maggot. The storm that wipes out the pathetic little thing you call your life. You're fucking dead, kid. I can be there anywhere, anytime, and I can kill you in over 700 ways, and that's just with my bare hands. Not only am I extensively trained in unarmed combat, but I have access to the entire arsenal of the United States Marine Corps, and I will use it to its full extent to wipe your miserable ass off the face of the continent, you little shit. If only you could have known what unholy retribution your little clever comment was about to bring down upon you, maybe you would have held your own fucking tongue. But you couldn't, you didn't, and now you're paying the price, you goddamn idiot. I will shit fury all over you, and you will drown in it. You're fucking dead, kiddo.
How did you
And-
find a transcript of my last message to my brother?
Honestly, I'm kind of surprised that you have not heard of this, John, because I feel like this would be up your alley to just have this, like, as a reaction to whenever someone tries to talk shit to you on PlayStation while you're playing Dead by Daylight.
Will you let me retort with something?
Sure.
Well, it's something that I've been posting for a few weeks. I usually adjust the statement to whatever the post is related to.
Fair.
I'm getting a laugh out of doing it, and other people have seemed to enjoy it too. But anyway, since this is my post or my time to talk, and I've been going around making variations of this comment, people are now showing up here on my post with their own variations of the comment. I hope that clarifies things, but please don't let this extensive clarification distract you from the fact that in 1998, The Undertaker threw mankind off hell in a cell and plummeted 16 feet through an announcer's table.
Okay. I like it. All right.
Kid tested, mother approved. But I want to take a moment to mourn the passing of a little bit more of my sanity. Michael, tell me how that was a voice.
Yeah, please. What character were you doing?
Because that just sounded like you desperately trying not to shit your pants.
Can you put a little more grit in your voice? Can you like talk through your teeth?
I want it to be like understood. I felt like if I dug too
We're
much
never
into, I was
gonna
supposed to be
understand
trying
you.
to sound like an angry, like almost sergeant or something like that, but
So
I
what
didn't
was
want to
your-
peak. I didn't want to peak, and I didn't want to be, unintelligible. So
Well, what was your motivation?
I
as an actor?
killed the voice for the sake of, the audio quality.
Shane, what
and-
voice would you have given that gentleman?
Hulk Hogan, obviously.
See, I should have just asked you to do it. I'm sorry.
No, I don't want to do it. I am not your dancing monkey. I just, if you promise me a voice, it can't be just you trying to, maintain sphinctal clarity or
Tautness.
yes, the word has just flown out of my mind because I'm vomiting into my own skull right now. So yes, that or falsetto. I can go deeper if you want.
That's fair. Do you want me to reread it in the falsetto?
Fuck no.
Oh
No.
yeah, please. Yeah, let's do
I'm
this.
not going to fucking do that.
No.
I think it would actually probably be better.
Are you serious?
Listen here, fucko. I'm gonna come over there and shit in your mouth.
I will shit fury all over you and you'll drown in it. You're fucking dead, kiddo.
See, that's
Oh,
brilliant.
Man, I miss her.
Well,
I miss
Yeah,
her. I never
I'm
thought
sorry.
I'd miss her, but I miss her.
I'm
indeed.
sorry.
Michael, does it actually relate to Creepypasta, or is that a QAnon thing?
No, that's a copy pasta. That is.
Okay.
Okay, no less
That
less.
actually did come about long before QAnon. That actually started being posted around 2010.
Okay.
So,
Also, not to be confused with a capybara,
or capybara. Those chill as fuck giant ass rodents.
which can occasionally be inserted into uncomfortable places like the back of a Volkswagen.
And how?
Allegedly. I'm not going to read the second example, as it is a bit on the wordy side, more wordier than that previous example. But this one comes around 2014, around Gamergate, a topic that I might cover in the future if there's interest. Anyway, whenever several people on the internet were talking about feminism in video gaming around that time, which was the whole point behind Gamergate, and a participant in that conversation was from 4chan, they would copy and paste John Galt's 60-page speech from Ayn Rand's novel Atlas Shrugged. Just as the response, just the whole... I thought it was longer, but when I looked and double-checked the page count, it said it was 60 pages.
Is that
So
bullshit?
what is
The
bullshit?
length?
No, it
you
said
did
that it was...
Shane.
Yeah, I did. And also, John kind of already called it out earlier. Yes, that's bullshit. Though I thought it was longer, but I did double check to make sure that the page length was correct. But yes, it is bullshit. John Galt's 60-page speech from Atlas Shrugged was not a typical response to feminism in video gaming around that time. I wanted to give an absurdly long speech as an example. And while the incoherent, basically anarcho-capitalist speech seemed fitting regarding the neckbeards being super offended by women voicing their concern about the obvious sexism in video games, that was not the case. The second most famous copy pasta is the entire script of the Bee Movie. And that is very true. This is what really boosted the Bee Movie into more of a meme instead of just being kind of like a Jerry Seinfeld vehicle. You like jazz?
Okay, I thought you meant a B movie.
No.
As
Like
in
the
horror
no,
that we
no.
are so fond of, and I was excited because I was thinking, oh, there's so many possibilities. But no.
No, it's the Bee Movie.
I don't mean to be too random here, but I did have an idea for a future episode that this just reminded me of.
Mm.
I want us all, or Courtney, Shane, and myself, to come up with movie synopsises for like really popular movies, and then have Michael guess what that movie is.
Ooh.
This sounds like a terrible
because
idea.
odds are he's never seen it anyway, so he's gonna really clutch at straws, and I think it'd be fucking hilarious.
All right.
And all of the descriptions will begin with, it was a Nicolas Cage vehicle.
Oh, I got it
You
now.
probably
I'm
could.
good. Let's do it.
Anyway, sorry.
No, you're good.
Oh, that's even more entertaining, though. Was Nicolas Cage in this movie or not? I think
that's a good game too.
Oh.
Okay.
I'm
That's
ready for
good.
this. Okay.
I like that. After Darks.
And also, not the bees.
not
no.
the bees. Anything but the bees.
Anything but the Bee Movie.
Unfortunately, that is the case. It was the Bee Movie. But it actually got so bad around this time, which was about 2013, that people were modding the entire script of the B movie into video games. I remember there was a mod for the game Skyrim that actually randomly placed books around the entirety of the game. And when you opened it, pretty much the game crashed because it was the entirety of the B movie script in that one book.
I want to call it, but I'm not, because I can totally believe that Skyrim mods would do that. I mean, they turned dragons into Thomas the Engine.
That's honestly my favorite mod from that game. I never really played Skyrim that much, but I love the modding community from it.
Odd. Something phallic being inserted into a game called Skyrim. No
Curious.
concern for sphinctal integrity there. Nary at all.
Fly.
Coming back to creepypastas now, because I feel like I've covered copypastas plenty. We now kind of understand that creepypastas are just copy-pasted scary stories. With the term originating on Tumblr, surprisingly, even though it started on 4chan, it actually did eventually migrate to Tumblr. And if you think about it, it kind of makes sense because Tumblr, a lot of the way that Tumblr is structured is that you can have, especially back in the day, a lot of it was threads where people would be responding to other people's comments, and you would just see a whole list of the previous responses, and it would pass from person to person. So you would never really know who started that thread, but then you would it would like, I don't know, it was a way of like spreading words around, or spreading like conversations around from people that you didn't know. So that was kind of one of the reasons why at least creepypastas took off on Tumblr as opposed to 4chan, because the medium allowed for easier spreading of these kind of scary stories.
Oh, it allowed for easy spreading.
Sure did.
No question.
Before they took away the not safe for work stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But this idea of spreading around, because I had to explain more about Tumblr and then I reused the same word, this idea of spreading around these mostly short stories goes back further than haunted chain emails to the idea of urban legends, as coined by our friend Jan Harald Brunwald, or however you said it.
Jan Harald Brunwald.
Thank you. It was actually, I thought it was interesting that in my research, I actually came across to him and his definitions of urban legends.
I'm sure that's why it's bullshit.
No, it's true. He actually was in my research.
Yes, it was
for this
all
episode,
folkloric.
yes.
I know. I was just giving you shit.
Oh,
I know who the man is. I just quoted him for 45 minutes.
I mean, that is true. But like thinking about it, it makes sense that these creepypastas are kind of an evolution of urban legends, right?
Were they found in The Mexican Pet?
I don't get that
The book that was published by Brunwald about.
Oh. No, because
No.
creepypastas were, or no, that book came out in the 80s, correct?
No, because the covers stuff. I think it was in the 90s.
Oh, even then, creepypastas wouldn't necessarily be in there. Like I said, they kind of originated in the late aughts. So,
grasping at
You ought
straws.
to be kidding me.
sorry. I'm sorry.
I pasta
So-
be kidding you?
Michael is a ravioli. You never know what's going on inside.
Sometimes when you stare at the pasta stares back.
Is that the next section?
Particularly if
That's
it's
the section,
ziti, you know. It's got some
Um,
sauce in there. This is a little ocular, yeah.
While urban legends were primarily spread by word of mouth before the internet, once the internet came into being, it was one of the easier ways to distribute your scary stories. And once creepypastas and that concept came into being, it became even easier. Originally, for a scary campfire story to evolve into a creepypasta, because this is Pokemon, it needed to have a degree of believability. I added the Pokemon joke. I figured I shouldn't
liked it.
have.
I'll allow it.
Thank you.
It was good. I
Thank
liked
you.
it.
Okay.
Don't you steal my lines, you son of a bitch.
Everything's different today.
Sustained.
Sustain.
I'm
Seconded.
not.
I motion to adjourn. It needed to have a degree of believability for people to pass it along to other websites. Else it would just be another scary story on the internet. It had to have that level of realism that you would want your friends to read it, so they might get creeped out by it too. It also helped that in most cases, these early creepypastas didn't have a clear origin or author, in part because of, just like I said with Tumblr, just spreading and moving things around, or pretty much the idea of passing this information along without a clear original attributor or poster, right? Let's see here. A great example is the creepypasta of Polybius, the haunted / government-owned arcade game that would cause kids to have strokes, massive migraines, etc. And some of these events had actually occurred to give this creepypasta credence. I don't know why I said credence. Credence Clearwater. Fuck.
Credence is actually how
Oh my
that's
God.
pronounced.
I love watching you destroy yourself.
I was more
Self-destruct.
laughing at the fact that within like a paragraph, you both said spread, stroke, and Polybius. So
We have
I
established
was,
already that Michael is the horniest person on this podcast.
yeah, I was very stimulated.
Well, this is the Not Safe for Work podcast.
So usually you spread Polybius, then stroke.
Yes,
That's
And
typically
sometimes-
what you.
if
Not
you
at
do
all.
it the other way, then there can be some dryness. It's not really lubricated correctly. It hurts. It's not worth it.
Sometimes
So-
you stare into Polybius, and the Polybius stares back.
I don't want to go into detail about how it's believable because I already have a full episode on that, and that was one of the major sections in that episode. So go listen to that if you want more proof.
Stop yelling. God damn.
Phew. Another example is one of the older ones, one of the oldest ones, one of the first ones, because I wanted to say that in 3 different ways, called Ted the Caver. It came from an Angel Fire website, which I have no idea what that was, but it took pains to make that clear that it came from an Angel Fire website in early 2001, documenting Ted and his friends exploring a nearby cave. It was released over time in a series of blog posts, including pictures of strange hieroglyphs and random gusts of winds that they encountered as they went deeper into the cave. In the final blog post, Ted wrote that he and his companions are bringing a gun into the cave after all of them experienced nightmares and hallucinations. And that's actually where it ends. It has not been updated to this day.
Isn't that just Blair Witch?
I mean, it could have been taken from Blair Witch. I mean, there's clear connective tissue between these creepypastas and found footage,
Shane.
especially because Blair Witch came out in 96 or something
99.
like that. 99. Okay, so even then, it was still a lot more in the public consciousness.
Shane,
so.
you look like you have something here.
It's like, what are they going to do with the gun?
They're gonna shoot the hieroglyph.
Like I went in a cave. I started having fever dreams, so I'm gonna shoot it.
It's the most American thing I could possibly think of.
Yeah, just
Mm.
point
Oh,
a gun at it.
absolutely.
Point
I'm
and
gonna
click.
Shoot
You
my
feel a random
feelings.
gust of wind, you just start shooting.
Apply directly to the forehead.
It's coming right for us.
Man, The Happening would have been a far more entertaining film if people were just shooting at the breeze.
The breeze, run! One person stands his ground. Not 10A, not anymore. He's just
Basically,
shooting at the-
it equates to the Predator scene where they're trying to shoot the Predator, just mow down the entire jungle, just spraying at the trees. There's a little wisp of wind cuts through a forest somewhere and mow the thing down.
There's some MAGA hat with 3 teeth that's totally doing it.
I'm probably related to him.
I'm not gonna let the
Same.
wind take my guns.
The wind touches me, I'll be gay.
Yeah, that's what happened to Bette Midler. That's why if it gets beneath your wings, you're fucked.
Over time, these creepypastas develop their own subgenres, each with their own level of believability. We have the Lost Episode creepypasta, alleging episodes from kid shows were never broadcast or were removed from syndication because of some reason or another. Such examples are suicidemouse.avi, featuring a Mickey Mouse cartoon that would drive people to go commit die. And I realized that rhymed, and I'm kind of proud of that. And another example featuring, or called Squidward Suicide, which the title pretty much sums up the plot.
What's it about?
The title pretty much sums up the plot.
I'm gonna be a crusty crab.
There is some believability, like I mentioned, in this subgenre, as there are many kids shows that have had to remove episodes for some reason or another. That one Pokemon episode that caused several dozen kids to suffer seizures is a prime example.
Is that bullshit?
No,
Nope.
you didn't know that was a thing?
No, I didn't.
It actually was. It was in the public consciousness to the point where The Simpsons actually satirized it.
Simpsons did it? Is that
Yeah,
what-
Simpsons did it. Yeah.
Y'all should kick me off of this call.
Oh wait, I think
I'm over here laughing about the Texas Chainsaw SquarePants, where they just murder Squidward and convert him into Krabby Patties and
amazing.
serve him to the public.
There you go. I like
Yeah.
that story. We have the video game Creepypasta, featuring ones like Sonic.exe, where Sonic loses his mind and starts murdering everyone, and you play as Tails and then Dr. Eggman trying to flee him. You don't succeed.
Man, Jim Carrey's cruel.
The what?
Jeez.
Never mind. It was a bad joke. Move on.
Fair enough. There's also the famous Ben Drowned series, a
Fucking
Haunted
wish.
Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time game. This one was actually posted on YouTube and is actually an interesting watch, especially if you watch the breakdown of all the glitches used to make that series. Because the person that did make the Ben Drowned series actually posted another video where he explained how he got a lot of his glitches to work. He got most of them to work without having to mod the game in any way, shape, or form, just taking advantage of like glitches that were found.
And
Like
that's-
one of the... Oh, sorry?
Sorry, it's just because I was Googling because it sounded familiar. It's Ben. Like
Ben Drowned. Yeah. Sorry. Ben Drowned. I was speaking too fast.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Sorry.
So
As opposed to being drowned,
Yes.
be drowned or
like
bend.
you would say in southern Alabama.
Or bend
You're about to
round.
be drowned.
hmm
Anyway, sorry.
No, you're fine. That
You should.
if
Google
you had
it, though,
trouble with it, the audience
image-
had trouble with it.
The
So
image is creepy.
yes, it actually. If you have a yes,
Wait, are you telling me that
uh,
we talk about ravioli and pasta, but I can't put on the accent?
hell no. This is a serious podcast.
Fuck this.
Let's see. Psychotic Killers is another subgenre, with Jeff the Killer being the more famous one. That is a picture of a person with no real facial features except eyes and a large slit where his mouth was, with the subtitle of "Go to Sleep," which is what he would say before killing you. And yes, I wrote it that way just so you would react like that, Shane. A giant slit where his mouth would be.
Yeah, you are the horniest person alive. We have
He
established
really
this.
is.
I'm pretty
It's-
sure every time I log into this call, I'm living in a creepypasta.
That's
You're not
fair,
wrong.
because you can't escape.
She
We're
actually
going to
can.
sacrifice to Squidward.
A mamma mia.
The
the-
calamari.
Holy cannoli.
A pasta pass.
The final subgenre of creepypastas are supernatural monsters such as Slender Man. Don't need to get into much
You want to give a
more
trigger
detail
warning
than that.
before you traumatize
No,
people?
because I'm not going to explain what happened, because if
there's
you
an
want to know
episode,
what
yes.
happened and not have a trigger warning before it occurs, you can listen to our Slender Man episode.
I can't talk about the Slender Man. It sets off my cream-filled cannoli.
Oh,
The
great.
popularity of creepypastas has kind of faded in the spotlight, in part due to an oversaturation of creepypastas, but also due to events like the Slender Man stabbing, which I've already covered, like I said, in extensive detail elsewhere, so I'm not covering it now.
Okay.
There is a fandom around creepypastas to this day, centered primarily at creepypasta.com, which I did not visit, and the subreddit that John might be familiar with, r/nosleep.
It was my favorite when I was working early mornings at State Farm. 'Cause
There you
there'd be
go.
So there'd be like 40 minutes between calls. So they're like, for the most part, they're just quick, short stories, and you can filter out the bad ones just by looking at popular votes. So anyway,
I will end with one more creepypasta, which is one of my favorites, titled Then Who Was Phone, which is one of the original ones, and it came out in 2008.
now, do you want to read this one? Do you want to put on a
It's-
voice?
It's a very short one,
Are you
and
gonna
I will
do a
read
voice?
it in my falsetto.
Okay, good.
For
I'm
you
ready
all.
for this.
Okay. The original creepypasta itself has tons of typos, like on the level of My Immortal.
Okay.
but I'm not going to read it like that. I'm going to read it as it should be spelled for everyone's benefit.
Yeah, we don't want to offend RatFan9792 again.
Yeah. Fuck that guy. So you're with your honey, and you're making out when the phone rings. You answer it, and the voice is, "What are you doing with my daughter?" You tell your girl, and she says, "My dad is dead." Then who was phone?
Why do you sound like Mickey Mouse from South Park, though?
Oh,
You
you
sound
best
like
pay up,
you
you son of a bitch.
I was gonna say you sound like Mickey Mouse on heroin.
Oh,
Same.
it's kicking in now.
Or wouldn't that be a more sedate Mickey?
Oh yeah, you're right.
I feel like that is.
I was thinking of cocaine.
I was like, yeah, I think both of you were.
pointed-
'Cause
Oh,
Yeah.
it's starting to kick in now.
That's my new favorite Michael voice.
Oh,
Michael, if I ever need cheered up, I'm gonna hit you up and just tell you to send me a voice clip of heroin Mickey Mouse.
you're just gonna call me at some random point in the day, and you're like, "I need to pick me up," and be like, "Ho ho, just
I don't
turn
wanna
that frown
touch
upside down."
I don't
Oh,
want
boy.
to touch your cannoli.
Oh, it's
No.
kicking in. No cannolis today.
Oh,
Only ravioli.
boy.
Goofy's overdosing again. And that was it. That's I wanted to end on Then Who Was Phone, and
nice.
that was my episode.
Then who was fun?
Who was fun? What was
That's
the
the mystery hasn't been solved to this day.
what was the lie that
7
we missed?
days.
So, okay, going over the lies for everyone's benefit. I said a copy pasta came from Tumblr, didn't, came from 4chan, which you called. I also said that someone would copy paste John Galt's 60-page speech from Atlas Shrugged, also bullshit. Dealing with Gamergate, also bullshit. None of that occurred. It was the B movie. And then the final one, and I wanted to dig deep to make sure that you guys would miss it. Creepypasta also originated on 4chan, but I really wanted to dig deep into Tumblr and how it works to try and help pass that off once you guys called out the first Tumblr. Because otherwise you guys would have been like, it's the same lie.
I'm
So-
still thinking that.
I
Strangely
I mean,
enough,
it is.
but,
It is pretty much the same lie.
Shane,
But-
hear that? We got all the lies this week.
Well, you got all the lies this week.
Yeah.
Maybe you should be dying more often.
It makes me focus a lot more. I know that I'm sick when I can binge watch TV shows, and I only have 2 episodes left on the new Dexter, and I started it like basically today. So
Mm.
Jeez.
I'm doing very
Is
well.
it worth?
It's so fucking good.
Okay, cool. Sounds good then.
But then who was phone?
Who was fun?
But who was
was
phone?
Cool.
Well-
Yeah, and that was all. I
Man,
just
we're gonna
wanted
have
to.
We're going to start like a playlist of all of your spooky episodes.
I realized in the process of writing this episode that I actually do like doing that kind of internet sleuthing to try and find old internet culture. Well, not old,
And I
obviously,
like
but
listening when you have
So-
those episodes. So thank you.
yeah. So I'll start doing more of those. My next episode is not going to be that.
I can't
in any
hear
way, shape, or
another.
form.
I don't
but
know how to hear any more about animals and
There's
sex.
no.
Sex with humans and around.
There
I
are
can't
no
do that.
real animals involved in this
Oh,
next
fuck
episode.
me. I don't need a follow up to Fear of
What?
Furries.
There's digital animals involved in this next
Digimon?
episode, and that's all I'll say. Yes, it is the entire history and synopsis of Digimon digital monsters, including the Digimon movie, which was the first CD soundtrack that I ever got.
Well, they are
Callback.
the champions.
They are. They're digital champions.
I thought you were just going to regale us with another tale of your exploits of Poke Your Mom Go.
Digimon.
That's Pokemon, not
Digimon is
Digimon.
essentially when your mom says that you have Pokemon at home.
You're not wrong.
That was good, John.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
A witty zinger right there.
What the fuck did you call me?
I'll just censor that. Shane, did you want to add something to the end of this episode?
Substance?
Oh,
I don't know.
I reached out to you to
You
let
did.
you know
I'm
if you
starting
wanted
to regret being involved in any of this altogether, but, you know,
Oof.
Well,
poor life decisions
I'm having fun.
lead me to so many places. But for those of you who have been hanging around in eager anticipation, we did tease that we have got, of course, several panels that we will be taking part in and presenting at Phoenix Fan Fusion this year. There is a link in the show notes below, so as you are perusing, you can snag tickets. And what we're going to do is just give you a rundown of where you can find us and what we will be discussing. So firstly, on Friday, May 27th at 1:30 p.m., we are going to be doing our first live episode, which is going to be delightful, and that will be a discussion of the comic books code, which I am very excited about, and that is already rocking and ready to go, so hooray and fun for that. Are you all ready to, go out and lie in public?
I do it
Yeah.
all the time.
Always, every day.
I lie to my students every time I talk to them, so I'm ready.
Me too.
Is that by saying that you have a bachelor's in physics?
No, it's when I say I know what I'm doing.
No, that's not an erection.
No, that's not a direction.
It's a cream-filled cannoli. And then later on that evening, Friday night at 4:30, actually, we are going to be presenting something which you got a soupçon of early in our run here on this podcast, which is a discussion of Dr. Sleep and The Shining, including all of the filmic iterations and the books themselves, which is lovingly entitled Shine On, Danny Torrance, which is going to be a good time for all involved parties. I know this is John looking at this as though it's the first time he's heard these words.
Oh no, I'm
What
just
is The
writing it
Shining?
down so I don't get almost hung in the group chat again.
Yeah, bitch slapped back into the beginning of creation again.
I just don't want a grouchy Shane reminding me that Google exists.
Yeah, it's very important. As I said, the preface to that was you would say this to Sam if we got a similar question.
Oh, I didn't argue that.
It's only the 8th fucking time I've told you this stuff, and maybe if I record it here, you'll have it to just call up at a moment's notice whenever you need to.
The listeners can't see, but I'm holding up the notepad that I'm writing all this down on.
There's also an email that contains all of this stuff in the Disinformed
Ew, I don't
inbox.
use email.
And a Google Doc.
Which I've also cultivated and curated. Or there's the website with the Fan Fusion schedule. So there's so many ways for you to find this.
Anyways,
Yeah.
what's happening on the 28th?
So that takes through. Apparently, everyone is super excited. So I'll be conducting these by myself. It's going to be a grand time for
Oh,
me.
I thought you were just
Talking
plugging.
about? I'm
you were just
super
plugging-
excited.
you're just
I
plugging
can lie to
dates.
myself just as well as everybody. I'm in a failing band. So,
Oh.
Imposter Syndrome, in examining Stephen King's The Outsider, is going to pick up our activities on Saturday, May 28th. That's at noon, kids. So if you are ever interested in grabbing a nooner with the Disinformed podcast, you finally have an opportunity to do so. And we have some friends joining us. So I had a panel where we discussed some of the works of Stephen King at the prior Fan Fusion, which is sadly all the way back in 2019 at this point. And so a couple of my fellow panelists from that are going to be joining us through the discussion of the King oeuvre, since it was so well received and popular previously. So looking forward to getting them in on the discussion as well. And then finally, we're all building towards something which is going to be a collection of shared trauma for any number of us. But our Saturday evening activity is going to be from 6 to 7 on the 28th, and that is going to be still standing a discussion of Stephen King's The Stand, which I am elated to get into since I have recently finished the 90s miniseries again, and it is...
Fun. I need to watch that still.
You can borrow that from me, and I will steal the bad
Shining?
miniseries of The Shining from you. So we'll just
Bet.
do a quick swap.
Yeah, it's on my list to watch again. Is the Shining miniseries?
Yes. So I have completed all of my requisite reading for all of these things. Everything is prepped, and I have got most of the questions done. So I just need to rewatch The Shining and Dr. Sleep, and of course the Outsider miniseries, and then I will be good to go. But I will also rewatch the Stand miniseries because I want a palate cleanser from how
Did
bad
you-
the 90s one was.
Oh, okay. So that's what I was going to ask. Have you seen the new one? yet or no?
Yes, I watched it. I got it fairly quickly after they released it on Blu-ray because I'm not gonna do the CBS thing.
Yeah.
I buy physical media. I am a Byzantine man, so I watched it right after I got it, and I burnt through it in a day.
Yeah,
wow.
I enjoyed it a fair amount. I'm excited to talk to you about it.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time. So, for those of you who are keen on checking out, that's something that I think we're all immensely looking forward to. In particular, this was Courtney's first exposure to a lot of this material, right?
Yeah. All of it.
So
and mine as well. I started with the stand.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yes, but I mean, you have read it previously, so.
Oh yes, okay. I see what
The
you're saying, yes.
veneer of newness is still sort of there for Courtney, and as a
Fair.
first-time King reader, really, since she started with If It Bleeds, right?
Yeah.
So
It Bleeds was
it's
the first one.
it's going to be nice to get somebody who's kind of a neophyte to the King verse before you get me doing all of my here's how this all connects to the Dark Tower bullshit. That's going to be really delightful. I came up with a very interesting collection of discussion points, particularly once I finished The Outsider again. There's going to be a lot of connective tissues. I will run through all of the panels, which is going to be very fun, culminating, of course, with The Stand. So I'm extremely excited to get everybody's brains picked
Yeah.
by the time we roll around to the actual panels themselves.
It's
so
going to be fun because it's finally
Yes.
happening.
uh-huh.
Yes, it's happening.
Allegedly.
Ah,
Okay. Well, to get even further afield, John, I see that you are nearing the end of a very long sojourn, a
fuck.
long day's journey into night, as it were.
Oh fuck. Are you talking
you're
about
dying.
One more again, Michael was, making.
Are you talking about Dune?
I am.
Oh
I
my
am.
Good God. Yeah, the horniest series ever made. I don't know why Michael hasn't read it.
Listen,
No one told
you
me.
leave.
It's just about space cum. That's all
You
it's
leave
about.
the honored maters alone, okay? It's all they've ever known. They were conditioned to it. It can't be helped.
Honored sex workers, please.
Mater damn near killed her.
I'm enjoying Chapter House so far. I'm like 50 pages in.
Okay, good. I was
Way
like,
more than
it
Heretic.
picks
Heretic's
up
a slog.
the pace. Yeah.
And now that I know who I'm supposed to give a fuck about again, it's easier.
Uh huh.
But I will say,
Yeah,
it is incredibly horny.
Yeah, they kind of drop you in the water with the Bene Gesserit. By the time you get around to that last little run, you're like, why do I care about this again? But it will redeem itself later on. It's as always, Herbert takes a long time to lay groundwork to try to make you appreciate things. For instance, as you go back another time and you start reading about all of the little hints and allusions to the Golden Path, it's very well thread through the entirety of the saga. So when you get around to it, it's like, holy hell, this was planned quite some time ago.
I'm enjoying it. I'm excited to see where it winds up.
Cool. Well, then the question becomes, are you going to read the material from his son as well to actually conclude the story? Because if you haven't been told, Chapter
Yes.
House ends on a cliffhanger.
Yeah. I decided that if the podcast that I listen to is going to continue on, that I'll continue at their pace.
Okay.
Because then it's only like 3 chapters a week, and I can deal with 3 chapters a week and just do a way long slow burn on it. You know.
Or I can just tell you about it in 20 minutes and you can save yourself the trouble. But I mean, either way.
That was clever.
But yeah, you'd have to be interested in what I say. So I suppose that just shoots at all the shit. Anyway.
What was that?
Fuck yourself. Anyway. So, I quit. And someone else wrap this fucker up because I'm sick of you assholes.
You can smash the like button, leave a like. That's all I got.
Like it, like the like. If you like the like, you can like the like by liking the like and hit the like button with smashing it. Smash that button. Smash
Don't
it.
forget to subscribe.
Just smash your computer screen or your phone, whichever one you're using. Just that's how you smash it. You
Hey.
don't click it, you just punch the fuck
Yeah.
out of
Hey,
it.
now you're a smash. Do the like smash.
Die.
Die,
And
die,
we've
die.
come full circle back to Smash Mouth.
And coming again. All right.
Everything
Well,
circles back to Smash Mouth.
just like a tumble dryer. So, ladies and germaphobes, boils and ghouls, motherfuckers of all ages, shapes, and sizes. We appreciate you being here for another doldrum-filled discussion here on the Disinfucked Fuckcast. So, for all of these happy assholes, good night! I'm kidding. For the Disinformed podcast this week, I'm Shane.
I'm John.
I'm Michael.
I'm Courtney.
And zippity zoop, we're out of here!
Oh, you're done.
Kill me.
What's up, motherfuckers?